Okay, so today we're going to look at the English pronouns. Okay, so there's 5 columns here. Okay, so we have the subject pronoun, object pronoun, possessive adjectives. So this is an adjective, possessive pronoun. So this is a noun, and the reflexive pronoun. Okay, so subject pronouns. This means that they are pronouns which are the subject of a sentence. Okay, so the subject of a sentence is the part of a sentence or clause that commonly indicates either what the sentence is about, what it is about, or who or what performs the action. Okay, so these are often at the start of the sentence and they're known as do words. These are words which are doing things. Okay, so here is an example. The Grinch hated Christmas. So the Grinch is the person who is performing the verb. They are doing the verb. So the Grinch is the person that hates Christmas. Okay, so here we can see some examples of subject pronouns. Okay, so remember the subject pronouns are the things which are doing something in the sentence. So now we're going to look at the object pronouns. Okay, so we just had the subject pronoun and now we're going to look at the object pronouns. So we can see them here: me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. So the object, unlike the subject, the object of a sentence is the person or thing that receives the action of the verb. It is the who or what that the subject does something to. Okay, and this is frequently at the end of the sentence or the end of the clause, and we know these kinds of words as receivers. So they are receiving the action. They're not doing the action, they are receiving the action. So we can see the same sentence down here as the previous one. The Grinch hated Christmas. So we said the subject is the Grinch, the person that is doing something, but what is receiving the Grinch's actions? Christmas. Okay, so we could say the Grinch hated Christmas. He hated it in this case. Here we can see some examples of the object pronoun. So you talk to me. So me is the object. You is the person that is doing it. And me, in this case, is the person that is receiving something. Okay? They're receiving the conversation. They're receiving the words. So I'm going to use I as the subject pronoun for the rest of these examples, but we'll see here the object pronoun is the one which changes. So I look at you. So next we're looking at possessive adjectives. So who owns something? Who is the owner? Who does this belong to? Okay, and just before we start, an adjective. So this is effectively an adjective. And the adjectives are words that are used to describe or modify nouns and pronouns. So they're descriptive words. For example, red, quick, happy, and obnoxious are adjectives, okay, because they can describe things. So a hat, but what color is the hat? The hat is red. These adjectives come before a noun, okay? They come before a noun, they describe the noun. So similarly, possessive adjectives describe who owns something, who something belongs to. So a possessive adjective sits before a noun or a pronoun to show who or what owns it. Okay, so here we can see my computer is not working. So how can we describe the computer? The computer is mine. So we say my computer is not working. So my is the possessive adjective. Here are some more examples. So I own the book. It is my book. My describes the book. It is your car. It is his dog. It is her phone. She owns the phone. The phone belongs to her. Next, we're looking at possessive pronouns. So again, this indicates ownership. But instead of being an adjective, it's a noun. Okay? So, mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, theirs, and one's. Okay? So, if we look at these, you can see that a lot of them end in S. Yours, his is the same. It already ends in an S. Hers, its, ours, theirs. So this is different to the adjective, the possessive adjective. In this case, we often add an S. Okay. So we said in the last one, this or my computer, but here we're saying the computer is mine. Okay, so there's no noun afterwards because mine is a noun. Okay, and then we have the book is mine. I own the book. Okay, the car is yours. Not the car is your, the car is yours. The dog is his. The phone is hers. The house is ours. The ball is yours, and the computer is theirs. So finally, for this section, we're going to look at reflexive pronouns. We can see them here. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, oneself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. So words ending in self, or in the plural selves, that are used when the subject and the object of a sentence are the same thing, when they're the same. Okay, so not I believe in me, but I believe in myself. Okay, so when you're talking about the subject, the start of the sentence, and the object at the end of the sentence or the clause, we use myself instead of me, yourself instead of you, himself instead of him, etc. So some examples here. I live by myself. Okay, so I live alone. I am the subject and the object. You talk to yourself. Okay, so that is, you're not talking to me, but you're talking to you, to yourself. Okay, he eats by himself. He eats alone. And by here is very important because if you said he eats himself, that means he is eating his own body, which is a bit crazy. Okay, so he eats by himself is much different to he eats himself. Okay, she draws herself. Okay, so this means that she is drawing a picture of herself. She is drawing her own face. It teaches itself. Okay, so for example, artificial intelligence, the computer learns artificially. So it teaches itself. We protect ourselves. Okay, you drive yourselves to work, for example. They don't take the bus, they drive themselves. You drive yourselves. And they sing to themselves. So they are singing not to an audience, but to themselves. So a group of people are singing to themselves. So quickly, we'll just look at some examples of the first person. So we can see here, I made a video. I am the subject of the sentence. I made a video. I made it. Okay. I made it with some equipment. Okay, so Seamus, my friend Seamus, gave it to me. Seamus is the subject of the sentence. Who is he giving it to? The object, me. So Seamus gave it to me. Who did Seamus give it to? Me. Okay, so we can just say me on my own. You'll often hear this, but the correct way of saying this is Seamus gave it to me. Okay, so here we have the possessive adjective. I use my camera. So my is an adjective and it indicates that I own it. The camera is mine. Okay, so there's no noun afterwards because mine is the noun. Okay, the camera is mine. I made the video by myself. Okay, I made it alone. Nobody helped me. Okay, so here we have some questions and answers that you might see. So, who owns the camera? I do. Okay, so we're not saying I. That does not work. You have to say I do. There needs to be a verb after the subject pronoun. And in this case, it's do. Or I own the camera. Next, we have to whom does the camera belong? Okay, so this sounds quite posh or formal maybe, but it does happen, it does exist. So when you see whom, the answer is going to be me, you, him, and her. They're going to be object pronouns. So you can say, to whom does the camera belong? And you will hear me. And really the person wants to say, it belongs to me. So the camera belongs to me. If I say who owns the camera, I could also say me. But technically, that's not grammatically correct, but you'll hear it all the time. Okay? And then finally, whose is the camera? Okay? And you can say mine or it is mine. Okay? And this is the possessive pronoun. Okay? So whose means to who does the camera belong. So this is also a possessive pronoun. Okay, so this indicates who owns it. So whose is the camera? The camera is mine. Okay, so I've explained what the meanings are. I'm going to leave you now with a few more examples from each conjugation. And you can just have a look at these yourselves, pause the video when you want to, and if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. So I hope you enjoyed or learned something from the video, or both. Hope you enjoyed it too. And yeah, good stuff.